talked about Sankhya Yoga. This is a blueprint. Sankhya, Purusha on one side, Prakriti. Prakriti has three gunas, three qualities, Sattva, Raja, and Tamas. Sattva means purity, Raja means activity, Tamas means dullness. Sattva means balance, Raja means activity, Tamas means dullness. So Prakriti has three qualities or three aspects. Everything in the nature has three dimensions. Everything is filled with Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And these are, psychologically speaking, three types of people. Some people have Sattva more in their life, so they're more balanced people. Some people are Rajas, more dominant, they're more active, go-getters, they're producing karma all the time. And some people are dull and ignorant, stupid, you could call them, and they're mixed with, so all personality are mixed with three gunas, because what we call personality is basically activities of these gunas in Prakriti. But because of Rajas, Rajas attracts Purusha, as you see in the diagram. And think of it as an aeroplane propeller. When Rajas attracts Purusha, Purusha gets involved in Prakriti, and action and activity begins to happen. Universe is created. I don't want to get into creation at this time, but all of this leads to the entanglement of Purusha and Prakriti according to Sankhya. As I mentioned, Patanjali accepts Sankhya system, Sankhya metaphysics, but he says simply understanding this analysis will not help you. Follow the 8 limbs of yoga and believe in God, who will give you grace to separate you from. So then you come to Samadhi. Before I talk about Samadhi, I forgot Samadhi is the last limb of yoga, where union of Atman and Brahman, or separation of Purusha, takes place. The 3 steps, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, sometimes in scholarly literature, all these 3 steps, all called samyama, 3 together, samyama. This samyama, when you're doing 3 steps, something important can happen to you, which is called siddhis, occurrence of siddhis. Siddhis means miraculous power. You may have heard that many yogis in India have many siddhis. If you want to know more about it, read Yogananda Paramahansa's thriller on yoga called Autobiography of a Yogi, that talks about siddhis, how his guru could astro project himself, be present in 2 places. He was seen in North India and South India at the same time. His disciples were hungry. One time he materializes food and gave them food to eat. Sai Baba believed in Siddhi and materializes necklace and different things and gave it to people, ring. I went to see Sai Baba in South India and saw him perform his miracle when ashes came from his hand. But I've never seen anybody do astral projection. I don't know how many of Siddhis are true or not. But Patanjali says that when you're doing dharana, dhyana, and going into samadhi, samyama can bring you siddhis. But this is the key, very important point. Patanjali says, don't believe in any siddhis because they are hindrances. Siddhis are your prakritis, your material nature's final assault to keep you on the material world of Maya and illusion. So you have to go beyond to samadhi or to yoga, oneness with or separation with Purusha and Prakriti. Let me read very quickly a last thing, and then I'll stop and you can raise question. This is what Patanjali says on aphorism 16. By making samyama on the 3 kinds of changes, one obtains knowledge of the past and future. And this is the commentary of Prabhavananda and Dr. Ishwar. Patanjali now begins to describe the various occult powers and the methods by which they are acquired. All authorities, including Patanjali himself, regard occult powers as the greatest stumbling block in the path to truth. Heaps of rubbish, said Ramakrishna. He called the greatest yogi that ever lived in India, 19th century. He called all these occult powers the rubbish, but he realized that this occurred to you. Buddha told his disciple very definitely never to put their faith in miracles, but to see truth in the eternal principle. Christ spoke sharply against those who seek for signs, quote and unquote. If you know anything about the New Testament, Jesus said the generation seeks for signs, that he is here, he is there, but no sign. And it is unfortunate that this structure will not be taken more seriously. Anyway, occult powers are not to be dwelled upon. But the problem, here is the problem, that many people emphasize healing, or if you go online, there are a lot of people doing fortune telling. They claim they have occultic power through yoga, but the actual Yoga Sutra of Patanjali says, don't indulge in it. Go further to a higher reality. Now let me conclude my last point. My concluding remarks